For those of you who have not really worked on finger picking and are trying to get into it, before we get to these intros, let me give you a little primer on how I do it. And maybe that will help you with regard to learning these introductions or just developing your own finger style. My idea is to always use my thumb for any bass of a chord that I'm playing. Thumb takes the bass. And then the rest of these fingers are assigned to as many strings as possible to play the chord. So let me give you an example. If I was to play a 4-note chord like a D, it's just these top 4. My bass, or my thumb, is going to take the 4th string, which is the D note. And then I only have 3 strings left, so I don't really need all 4. I just need these 3. And they are going to take these strings. The 4th string, the 3rd string is the 1st finger, the 2nd string is the middle finger, and the 1st string is the ring finger. Now if I had a 5-note or 5-string chord like an A or a C, something like that, well then now my bass is going to take the 5th string, because that's the bass on either one of those chords. And now because I have 4 strings left, all 4 fingers are going to come into play, where now I'm adding my little finger as the top note. Okay? Now what do you do when you have a 6-note or 6-string chord like a G? Because you only have 5 fingers. Well, the way I do it is the thumb takes the bass, and then these are assigned to the top 4 strings. So just like on the 5-string chord. But that leaves this string unaccounted for. So what I'll do sometimes is when I play the 6th string, I'll also hit the 5th string. It happens sometimes, not all the time. But that will get them all. Now, the way I finger pick, and what I'm going to recommend, is when you finger pick, your hand is anchored here, and it really isn't going to move. Your fingers are going to come up into your hand, your thumb as well. And incidentally, your thumb kind of sticks out. It's not ever behind, it's sticking out. And remember, when you play, I'm assigning my fingers to these 4. Let's say I'm playing an A chord. So I'm playing the 5th string with my bass, my thumb. I am going to hit that, and if I was to play each of these notes successively, and then I pull like this. I pull them into my hand. But watch how my hand barely moves. It's anchored here. It's the fingers that are moving. That's the least amount of motion by the hand is better, because by doing that you keep the hand stable and your fingers can always go back to the string it's assigned to, because it's used to the distance. So I'm just going to make up something and play something, and watch how my right hand barely moves. So it moves some, but it was basically staying immobile. And so that's the idea. Assign fingers, let your bass always take, like your thumb always take the bass. Keep your hand fairly immobile, keep your thumb in front of your fingers, and let your fingers pull up into your hand. And I think you're going to be just fine. One of the great intros in acoustic guitar playing is Scarborough Fair by Simon and Garfunkel. And Paul Simon, really cool stuff. So he puts the capo on the 7th fret if you want to play it in their key. And the first chord looks like this. It is actually an A7 sus4 add 13. And just to show you how that works, if you're wondering, here's an A7. Here's the 3rd of the chord. If I move it up 1 to the 4th, I substitute the 4th for the 3rd, that becomes a suspended 4. So there's your A7 sus4. But I'm going to take this 5th and move it to the 6th. And the 6th is also the same note as the 13th. So I'm adding that note to my A7 sus4. See, I have my E right here. So when I substitute and play the F sharp, that is an A7 sus4 and add the 13. That's how that works. For those of you who like that kind of stuff. Okay, that chord you're going to play with your first finger and your middle finger, because the next chord comes in where it looks like there's a C chord, for those of you familiar with the C shape, but moved up 2 frets from, you know, the bar. And so you want to just be able to put that on there. And the picking pattern for both of those, incidentally, this song is in 3/4. The picking pattern is all eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and it is this. I'm going to name the strings in number. So this is 1, this is 6. 5, 1, 3, 4, 2, 1. 5, 1, 3, 4, 2, 1. Add this finger and do it again. 5, 1, 3, 4, 2, 1. Okay. Right after that, I'm going to hit this C note by itself, and then hit the second and third strings open. And that's all eighth notes, 1 and 2. But when I hit this third string, this G, I'm letting it ring for a full beat. So it becomes a quarter note, 1 and 2, and I hit this B note, second string on the 5th fret, on beat 3, and let it be a quarter note. It's going to ring for a full beat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, do all of that. By the way, when I hit that A again, I'm starting the song. And what that is, it's this first chord again, the A7 sus4 add 13. Same picking pattern. And then it goes down to what is called an A sus2. And for those of you interested on chord theory or how to form chords, when you have a chord, and you take the third and substitute it with the second, then you have a suspended 2. When you substitute it with the fourth, you have a suspended 4. So we're taking it off and putting the second note, so it's a B, A, B, C sharp, D, etc. for the key of A. And that is an A sus2, or A suspended 2. You're going to switch between those two chords using the same picking pattern, 5, 1, 3, 4, 2, 3. So it's all eighth notes. Up to tempo, it would sound something like this. And that's the introduction to Scarborough Fair. Sweet. Another great finger-picking intro is the song Dust in the Wind by Kansas. And it sounds complex, but it's not that bad when you break it down and analyze it. And that's what we're going to do. So the song itself is played in 4/4 time. I'm not sure what the beats per minute is, but it's up there, probably around 180 or so. And it's really only 2 chords, this introduction. It's a C chord and an A minor chord. And that's it. It's a little bit more complex than that, but that's basically it as far as the chords. Now, here's what you need to remember. The C chord is played for 4 measures. Then the A minor chord is played for 4 measures. Then the C chord is played for 4 measures. Then the A minor chord is played for 4 measures. It's just that easy. Okay, so we've broken it down so far, not too bad. Now, there are 3 notes on the second string, this B string, that are happening throughout this intro. I'm just going to call them by frets on the second string. first fret, open, third fret, and that's it. So first, open, third, first, open, third, first, open. This is happening throughout the intro. That's all that's happening. That's it. And these are the fingers you're going to use when you play those notes. The first finger on the first fret and the third finger on the third fret. Now the thing is, the group Kansas combined those chords, 4 measures of C, 4 measures of A minor, etc., with that note pattern to form a really cool, actually complex sounding, but not that bad, really cool intro. So here's how you do it. You have the C chord. Remember, it's 4 measures of it. The first measure is just this full C. The second measure is you're taking off this note because you're doing those 3 notes, right? So you want it open. It's actually in C major 7, the full chord. The third measure is to put that ring finger on, or the little finger on. And then the fourth measure, you go back to that C because we're going through the notes. All right, now I'm ready to take it off, but I'm done with my measures of C. I go now to the 4 measures of A minor, and my finger is off, so we'll start with this, which is an A sus2, and it's time for the ring, our little finger. Okay, so that is an A sus4, and then down here, and now I have the regular A minor. And I'm ready for my 4th measure of A minor, so I got to take this off. I'm ready for my little finger now, but it's time for the next 4 measures of C, so I go back to my C form and add my ring finger. So this is a C add 9, actually. And then I go put this down, so I'm back to a regular C. I take it off, back to my C major 7, put the ring finger on. I've got my C add 9. Then I've got 4 more measures of A minor, and I'm back to this note in my pattern. So I do my regular A minor, the A sus2, A sus4, and then back to the A minor. So really cool. They're just switching 4 measures of C and A minor twice, and then they're doing this. So just playing the chords, it would sound like this. That starts to sound like Dust in the Wind, doesn't it? And what's cool is because A minor and C are so related, they have so many of the same notes. A minor is the relative minor of C. This middle finger can act as an anchor point for both chords. It doesn't have to move if you don't want it to. And it can act as an anchor point so that you can always kind of get those chords. So now we just have to get our right hand. The left hand we've got down, and it's not that bad. The right hand's not that bad either. The picking pattern is, it's going to be all 8th notes except for the first notes that you pluck. And those are going to be the 5th and 2nd strings. I'm just going to play a C chord. 5th and the 2nd string is going to be a quarter note. 1 and. So it gets the full beat. 1 and. And then you're going to go 4, 3. That's going to be so 1 and, 2 and then I'm going to go back to 5, 2, 4, 3 to get 8th notes. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's the picking pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that gives you a measure. That's one measure. So I'm going to do that I'm going to do it 16 times. 4 measures of C, 4 measures of A minor, 4 measures of C, 4 measures of A minor, with the notes on the B string changing between those 3. And played very slowly, this is what that would sound, just to give you an idea. play it up to tempo, and you can get it, just take it slow. Take it slow. You'll get it. It sounds something more like this. Isn't that cool? Dust in the Wind by Kansas. Work on it. You can get it. Another great finger-picking intro is James Taylor's Fire and Rain. And in this video, I actually introduced it, but let me expand upon it in this video, how to play it exactly. So he plays with the capo on the 3rd fret, if I'm not mistaken, but you can put it wherever is comfortable for your voice range if you're going to sing it. And the 2 chords he begins with are actually an A and an E minor 7. But of course, he makes it a lot sweeter. So what he does is he plays inversions of those chords. That's where the chords notes are the same, but they're in different order, stacked differently and elsewhere on the guitar. So this is a major chord, a G. And if you move it up 2 frets, you get an A. A. Remember, he starts off at an A, these 3 notes. And so James said, you know, what would be cool is to take it from here and slide it up to here. So he's incorporating a different inversion and a slide, which are 2 very awesome techniques that are part of his style. And his idea is, let's just play the bass and the 3rd string, and then the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string, but I'm going to slide up when I play the bass and the 3rd string. Now you want to keep the chord form, because immediately you're going to pluck 1, 2, 3. Isn't that cool? And then here's another cool thing. When you take this same chord, A, move it down so it's a G, but you add an E bass, those are actually the notes for an E minor 7. So he's got his 2nd chord just by keeping the same form but moving it down 2 frets. Isn't that neat? So he's going to do the same thing. He's already at the A. He's going to pluck the 6th and the 3rd string and slide down and then go 1, 2, 3. So combined. Well, that was crazy sounding. Let's try that again. All right. Then he hits the D string, D note. He plays a D form, but he hammers on, plucks all 3 notes. So hammer off, and then take it off, and then hammer on, then take it off, and then hammer on again. That would be. Okay. Then you go right to an A. You're going to hammer it on, hammer on this 3rd. Then go 4, 3, and you're going to use your little and ring finger and play the 1st and 2nd strings going. So your ring finger is 3rd string, 3rd fret, 2nd fret open. Okay, so let's do all of that. Then I'm going to hit the root and hammer on again. Okay. Then you just play an E. I just played through the E, 6, 4, 3, and then 2 and 1 at the same time. And then a G major 7, but formed like this. And so 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's hard to do it slow. Yeah, that's it. 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 4, 2 and 1 again. Let's play all of that. Isn't that cool? And that's Fire and Rain. One last thing. If you're interested in learning the rest of any of these songs, let me know. Put something in the comment. Hey, Barry, would you give a tutorial on the full song? Be happy to do it. All right. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate you guys. If you get an opportunity, subscribe. Love to have you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.